난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도.
Hello everyone, welcome to the McDSP YouTube channel. Today we're going to cover how you can use the McDSP ML4000 Mastering Limiter to process your vocals from start to finish without the help of any other plugins. Let's get into it. The ML4000 Mastering Limiter by McDSP has a plethora of features that not only makes it great for applying limiting to your master bus, but also makes it a fantastic tool for all of your multiband gating, expansion, and compression needs. In front of me, I have a very dark, muddy vocal. It also sounds like it's a bit too dynamic and uncompressed. Let's talk about how the ML4000 can fix all of these problems. The first thing I did when dialing in these settings was move to the crossover tab and edit the crossover points for each of the bands. First, I knew I wanted a band to cover the high-end airy frequencies of this vocal, another band to cover the highs and high mids, another band to cover the low mids and mids, and then another band to cover all the low end. As a result, I adjusted the crossover points so that the bands would be set around these areas. Moving back to the main tab, the first thing I did was use expansion for band number 4, which is the highest band. This helped me introduce a cool OTT-like effect for the high end, which was very much needed since this vocal was incredibly dark to begin with. On band 3, I'm basically doing the same thing that I did on band 4, in that I'm using the expander to bring out more of the high mids and highs. Once we move on to band number 2 though, you'll notice I have the compressor instead of the expander enabled. That's because on this band, I'm using the compressor to turn down and tame some of the cloudy, honky mid-range frequencies in this vocal. Lastly, band 1 is doing basically the same thing as band 2 since it's doing some compression, but its main responsibility is to take care of plosives and other undesired low-end rumble in this vocal. The attack and release values are also all set to their fastest values, so that the ML4000 processing can get in and out of the vocal as quickly as possible. Before we listen to this vocal sound in a little bit more detail, let's move on to the master limiter section of the ML4000, which is where I'm limiting the entire vocal overall to give it more dynamic consistency. Since my goal here was to make the vocal a bit more consistent, I adjusted the threshold and ceiling controls so that I could get the dynamics of this vocal right where I want them. Then, to make the limiting more subtle and less pumpy, I dialed in a slower release and a softer knee. I also left the mode on clean because I wanted this part of the plugin to be nice and transparent. Now let's mess around with these settings so you can really understand what each part of the plugin is doing. To do this, I'm going to use the band solo buttons for each band so you can hear exactly which part of the frequency range each band is controlling. Then I'll bypass and engage each band so you can hear what each one is doing. Finally, I'll bypass and engage the master limiter at the end of the signal chain.
난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도 난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도 난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도 난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도 난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도 난 너무 많은 거 신경 써 내게 걱정을 많이 끼쳐서 이제 이 회사는 올해는 10년 차지 노고를 증명해 내 흰머리가 친구였던 며칠한 건 길을 달리해 논리 완벽하지 내 평판을 깎기에 돈 중요해 전부는 아니래도 그래서 감수해 스트레스를 받는데도.
As you can hear, the ML4000 really brought this vocal to life. It's a lot brighter, more dynamically consistent, and overall much more ready to get mixed in with this song's instrumental. That's all we've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, or maybe even an idea for a video that you'd like to see, feel free to leave us a comment and let us know. Lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe for more McDSP tips and content, and we will see you next time.